So, Fee, we've been talking about diversity. I'd love to carry that conversation on.
Yep.
Yeah. What do you see as being important to creating a diverse workforce within the male-dominated construction industry?
I love this question.
Do you?
And I'm going to actually go back quite early
Go on.
in people's lives. So I mentioned I'm queer. My late partner was obviously female.
My condolences on your partner.
Thank you.
Yeah, apologies.
So Lisa, obviously female.
Yeah.
She was a police officer, always had better work stories about tackling these criminals to the ground. And she was strong, like seriously strong. And then there's me, who's an engineer. I'm 6 foot tall, so I think I'm actually taller than the average male in the world. And we've got a son. So I was one day talking to my son when he's 5 years old, and he made a comment, and I can't remember the exact words, but certainly the comment implied that men are strong and men are tall.
Interesting.
And I thought, how has society influenced his thinking to such a degree that his beliefs, so that his beliefs are now stronger than his lived experience? With his lived experience being a super tall mum and a super strong mum, and yet he's telling me that it's only men that are tall and men that are strong.
And this is at 5 years old.
This is at 5 years old.
So society's conditioned him
Absolutely. Yeah.
unknowingly
Yeah.
to put those thoughts in his head to say men are the superior.
Yes. Yep. Exactly. And it's little things all the time. And so since then, I've really kept an eye out about what sort of things are creating this to happen. So again, I was at my son's school when he was about 6, and the teacher needed something moved, and he said, I need 4 strong boys to come and move this. I was just like thinking, seriously? The very same morning, they have a fishing competition, and one of the teachers during the school assembly said to the kids, whose dad or uncle is taking them out fishing this weekend? And I loved it because one of the young girls put her hand up and said, my auntie's taking me fishing.
Oh, yo.
So I loved that. And yeah, even the other day, I was at hockey and they needed some goals moved, and one of the women said, oh, we need some men to move the hockey goal. And I actually said to her, why do they have to be men to do this job? And she said, oh, they need to be tall and strong to be able to move it. And my thought was, there's women that are tall and strong. Yeah. They don't have to actually be men to do this. So I think there's a real opportunity to be aware of the language that's used around our children, and things like saying that's a girl's colour or that's a boy's toy.
Funny.
Just shouldn't be
my
used.
My son came a pretty similar experience.
Yeah.
My son, he's 5 now. And wouldn't watch what's the Disney thing, the princess movie?
Oh, Frozen, yeah.
Sorry, not that I don't know the movie. I just haven't seen it in a long time. Brain fart. He wouldn't watch Frozen.
Yeah.
It's a girls' movie.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, it's a movie. It doesn't have to be a girls' movie or a boys' movie.
Yeah.
Can we watch it together?
Yeah.
And I'm still struggling to get him to watch it with me.
Yeah. And I think there is a part about, if a child's not into something, they don't need to be into something.
That's fine.
But it horrifies me, when children are like, oh, that's a boy's thing or that's a girl's thing, or and so I think there's always an opportunity for parents to.
So what would you do differently in the construction industry? What's happening now? What would you recommend that we do differently?
Yeah, so that's, I guess, something for society, and then there's getting into the schools and making sure that school children, and especially girls, to get into male-dominated industries, are aware of that this is an opportunity and that they will be supported. So it's raising that awareness that it is an option. Then during your recruiting process, I think there's a real opportunity to make sure that if you want diversity, that sometimes you have to put extra effort in to get that diversity. So a company I know recently recruited some high-level positions and engaged a recruitment firm that specifically looked for diversity. And one fact that they told me that I found really eye-opening was that they were a headhunting company. So they would go and look for potential candidates and cold call them. And they said that it would take, on average, a call to a white male that was suitable. One call was sort of enough to get them to apply. For women that were fully qualified, 2 phone calls to get them to apply. And for Māori or Pacifica, 3 phone calls to tell them that they were good enough to get them to apply. So if you want diversity, you have to put effort in to encourage diverse.
That's an interesting stat, eh?
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting.
Well, I mean, they only had to give me half a call and I'll
Clearly, this is averages.
Yeah.
But I know for myself that I'm trying to recruit at the moment, and I've had to go above and beyond to get the diversity. And even then, it can be a struggle if there's not that, the numbers coming through university.
And you believe that having a diverse culture will promote a better working environment within your company?
That's a whole topic in itself,
Yes.
which I'd love to do. Can I just finish off
Yes, please. I'm sorry.
What companies can do?
Yep.
So put effort into your recruiting process, and the next part is making sure that your workplace is ready to have a diverse workforce. So that's not just the setup of the workplace. So, one example is, it's probably not a surprise, women have periods, and so have facilities there for women to deal with it.
Is that not normal?
No.
Sorry, I'm just being naive here, but okay.
Yeah. It's simple
So
things like.
help me understand. Well, if the facilities don't exist for you to deal with your periods, what do you do?
I don't know.
Okay.
I just don't know. And so, I've never had to work on a construction work site where
That's interesting,
there may be no facilities, or there might be portaloos. And, portaloos are not exactly the nicest environment to deal with anyway. So it's just thinking those things through. And so, one solution might be there's all sorts of sustainable period.
You've just got me thinking about every single job site I worked on in the past. I've never thought about this.
Yeah. And, so there's all sorts of sustainable period products that are available now, which, companies could provide to their women, which means that they don't have to worry about that during the day. So sustainable product and helping women just feel better about themselves in a workplace, and removing one challenge. If it's in the office, it's making sure that, for example, you've got a set of drawers available for women to keep their products so they don't have to walk through the office, advertising that they've got their period.
Fair.
Yeah. So, that's
It's the little things.
It's the little things, exactly. And so that's one simple example that people might never have thought about.
I've never thought about it to today.
Yeah.
Until you brought it up. Swear to God, didn't even go through my mind.
Exactly.
The number of job sites I've been on, it's the last thing I would normally think about.
Yeah, exactly. So that's one thing about having your workplace set up. The other thing is having your workforce set up to take diversity. So there's probably some diversity training with that. But my previous company, an electrical company, we had a female apprentice, and she'd go out on a site, and sometimes the customers would say, "Oh, I'm not having her work on my site."
Really?
Yep, still
But
happened.
she was skilled, she was qualified.
Yep, absolutely.
So how does it matter?
Yep, exactly. But that's still, unfortunately, what might happen from some people. So you need your male workforce to be able to stand up and say, no, she is all these things. She's qualified, she's safe. She is going to come and do this work with me. So your workforce needs to accept them and make them feel welcome, and then defend them if they get external pressures.
Yeah, there's a few things that I didn't think about that's come to light, which is interesting. Yeah, right. I mean, as a male, I don't normally process what other people are going through, right? you know me as well. I'm just focused on my problem and I just want to get it solved. So, yeah. really,
Yeah.
I'm a bit in shock right now. But
And so I guess one of the key things, like I said right at the beginning, you know, I can't talk for other parts of diversity. I can't talk about, you know, what the religious, the race side of it.
Yeah,
you know,
fair
I'm
enough.
fortunate to be a, you know, Pākehā.
yeah,
So, you know, I think one of the other important things is just to ask people. You know, don't assume about what the challenges are or aren't. And so just ask
I've had
them.
my fair share of challenges
Yeah,
in New
yeah.
Zealand, trust me.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Hey, but I'm not going to let that stop me.
Yep.
Fuck that. I'm getting out of bed every day and I'm fucking ready to kill the day. Let's go.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, but we'll save that for a lunch conversation.
Yeah.
All right, cool.